Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Storian and today we're going to be exploring the history of women in football. So for those of you who don't know, in England today we are all going to be cheering on our women's team in the Euro competition. The UEFA European Women's Football Championship is a football competition that takes place every 4 years. It's organised by the Union of European Football Associations, that's UEFA, for women's European football teams. There's 16 teams taking part, which are sorted into 4 groups of 4. They include Group A, which is England, Northern Ireland, Norway and Austria. Group B, which is Germany, Denmark, Spain and Finland. Group C, which is the Netherlands, defending champions, Sweden, Russia, who are currently suspended until further notice, and Switzerland. And then finally, Group D is France, Belgium, Iceland and Italy. There's big money at stake here. In September 2021, it was announced by UEFA that the prize money for the UEFA Women's Euro 2022 Championship will be €16 million. That's double the amount of the UEFA Women's Euro 2017 prize money. Now, we all know that men's football gets a lot of press attention and tons of people talking about it all the time. But today, England is backing England's team, so I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk a little bit about the history of women in football. So women's football was actually banned, or at least restricted, by male chauvinist football associations in many European countries, and the women's game was actually unrecognised by UEFA. In 1957 in West Berlin, a European Championship was staged by the International Ladies Football Association. 4 teams representing West Germany, the Netherlands, Austria and the eventual winners, England, played the tournament at the Poststadion at a time when women's football teams were officially forbidden by a ban by the German Football Association that was widely defied. The FICF, which eventually merged into the Italian Football Federation, organised a European tournament in Italy in 1969 for women's national teams. The tournament was actually won by the home team, which was Italy, who beat Denmark 3-1 in the final. The 2 nations were also the finalists of the 1970 Women's World Cup in Italy. Italy hosted another European women's tournament a decade later, which was the 1979 European Competition for Women's Football, which was won by Denmark. UEFA was actually really hostile to Italy's independent Women's Football Federation. Sue Lopez, a member of England's squad, contended that a lack of female representation in UEFA was a contributing factor. At a conference on the 19th of February 1980, UEFA resolved to launch its own competition for women's national teams. So it seems like UEFA spotted a good thing and was like, actually, we want to do something, when actually they hadn't shown any interest prior to that. The first UEFA-run international tournament began only in 1982, when the 1984 European Competition for Women's Football Qualification was launched. The 1984 finals were actually won by Sweden. Norway won in the 1987 finals, and since then, the UEFA Women's Championship has been dominated by Germany, who has won 8 out of 10 events. Norway won in 1993 and the Netherlands in 2017. Germany's 2013 win had been their 6th in a row. The tournament was initially played as a 4-team event. The 1997 edition was the first that was played with 8 teams. The third expansion happened in 2009 when 12 teams participated. From 2017 onwards, 16 teams compete for the championship. This year's Women's Euros has been labelled the biggest Women's Euros in history, and it shows that a great deal of attention is now being paid to women in the sport. And still, there are sexist comments being made towards the Women's England team, which, let's be honest, have to amuse us, because you just know they're sent by resentful men eating a load of crisps in front of a TV, absolutely stewing at the thought of a woman playing football better than they ever could. Glorious. Is football coming home? We bloody well hope it is. So there you have it. That's a really quick run through of the history of women in football. Stay tuned, like, comment, subscribe and get involved.